Why don't you go ahead and tell us who you are and what you do?
I'm Pheonixmaster1. I run a YouTube channel called Pheonixmaster1 with that same name, and I've been doing this ever since I was 13-year old, and now I have turned 23, so I've been doing this for over 10 years now, almost, and I basically run a gaming-centered YouTube channel focusing on Nintendo games.
All right, it's cool. So this is the kind of question that I guess everybody's gonna ask now. How have you been doing during the pandemic going on?
A lot of people think that YouTubers have it pretty easy under a pandemic, and it's true because we don't really have to leave the comfort of our room. But the thing is, YouTube depends and works on ads. And in the pandemic, a lot of companies are taking losses. So ad rates in general are pretty low and during the pandemic. And as it is, the gaming genre on YouTube is known to be one of the lowest CPMs, lowest earning niches in general on YouTube. So that's why gaming channels do suffer a bit more. But still, it's a much luckier and much comfier job than a lot of them out there, where you have to risk your life and leave your house. So I'm pretty happy about it nonetheless.
So when you're not working on videos or school, what do you do in your free time to not go nuts while you're inside?
I basically watch the movies or anime or anything for entertainment, or just go out there and play with my friends, play basketball. So that's just the hobbies which I like to do when I'm not recording.
What kind of movies you've seen recently?
I'm mainly a big fan of thriller movies and action movies and MCU, so I'm a big fan of those. So I mainly just watch those kinds of genres.
All right. So your channel. Around 10 years ago, you started publishing videos on YouTube. If you can remember, what was the reason for your start?
At that point, I just wanted some kind of escape, I guess. My mom used to be really sick, and I was really not having a good time at that point, because as a kid, when you're in that age, you feel really bad if one of your parents is sick. So I just wanted some kind of escape, and during that time, I just opened my YouTube channel, and I just started uploading whatever videos I wanted. I didn't really have any kind of focus or goal at that time. Any game which I really enjoyed, and that's how it started.
So quite a few of these videos have over 1 million views for seemingly random games like Tom and Jerry for the Game Boy. Do you have any explanation for this as to why this might have happened?
The thing is that these kinds of franchises are, evergreen, and they're always going to be popular. Even now, we see memes of Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry is still popular in this day and age, even though it's not the same kind of animation that, we grew up with. So that's the explanation for these kinds of videos. They stack up that much views because they are evergreen. They are not topical. They're not trendy. They're always going to be popular.
Alright, so early on, you started making Pokemon videos. In a few of these, you actually have intros and layouts. I'm curious to know where you learned all this at such a young age.
Basically, at that time, learning how to do your layouts and getting better with Photoshop was just a way of saving money, because you could hire a graphic designer and commission people, but when you're not really earning anything out of YouTube, it's not really optimal. And I was a kid anyway, so I don't really have any kind of money, so I just learned it to do myself, and just have these intros or have these layouts.
So aside from just gameplay content you made, you also created some guides, which is something you continue to do to this day. What compelled you to make this kind of content?
Basically, I wanted to help fellow players of the game, which I have passion for. Many times in our day-to-day life, we just use games as an escape, and there are certain maps, there are certain difficulties which may require more time, and these kinds of maps are time-based. They are here only for a week, and I just started to make guides to help those players so that they can have passion for the game. Because if you get stuck in a game, if you're having a lot of trouble progressing through a game, then you kind of don't want to play that game anymore because you're not having fun. So once you've cleared that tough part, you can go back to the thing which you have most fun with. And that's pretty much how I see it. And I'm just trying to share my passion with other players.
All right. So this one's kind of a weird question, but if I'm not mistaken, were you partnered with Machinima at some point?
Yes, you have definitely done a lot of homework. I was firstly partnered with Machinima, and at that time it was really, really big. So basically, around 2010 and 2011, it was really hard for gaming channels to get partnered because we don't own our games. We are not making our games. We're basically making videos on someone else's property. So there were not a lot of ways of getting partnered, and Machinima was one of those networks who were sponsoring a lot of people and I'm partnering a lot of people. So yeah, I did get partnered by Machinima, but then soon after I left them for a better network.
So how was your experience with Machinima? Because I know it's like a notorious like partner program.
Yeah, the thing with Machinima was that it had contracts which would auto renew, and the splits were not really all that good. The splits used to be more into the favor of content creator, but it's only like 60-40. So you only get 60% of what you earn, and they keep 40. So a lot of the times they're not really there to provide you support or value for the 40% earnings that they're taking from them, and that's how these these networks basically came to an end, or at least are much more unpopular these days.
Yeah. So moving on, we're still in like the Pokemon era here. You didn't start talking in your videos until like 2013. In a few of these guides, you put up disclaimers saying that people who don't like your voice are free to like not watch these videos. So how much pushback did you get when you started incorporating your voice, and how did that all make you feel?
At that time, I was like 15 years old, so I didn't really have the thick skin that you needed to be a YouTuber. So I felt really bad when someone said, "Oh, your voice sucks. My ears are bleeding after listening to your voice." And
damn.
that's still one of those things I'm kind of insecure about. We all have those things which we are insecure about. Like you go out there and you're insecure about your hair, and someone comments on your hair, you're gonna feel a bit uncomfortable. So at that time it was for me, but to an extreme degree. So that's why I just used to put these disclaimers so that people could just leave and not leave mean comments. But now I don't really care all that much, really. It's just part of the job. Every job has pros and cons, and you just gotta deal with the cons.
So now a new game starts to like emerge on the channel, which is Smash Bros. Content. This is actually, as a side note, this is actually where I started subscribing to your channel too. So
Yeah.
was this around a time where you believe like your channel started to grow?
Not really. I kind of made the smashed videos because I was like really ill with chronic migraine, so I didn't really have the energy to commentate or do a lot of the intricate stuff. So I used to post these montages of Smash, which I used to play in my own time without any kind of commentary. So that's the part of my channel where I was really sick, and instead of not uploading anything, I just wanted to upload something something that is not going to be taking that much energy. So that's where I started to do Smash videos, and they did add to the popularity of my channel. But I would say I started to gain most of my popularity through my Pokemon videos, Pokemon X and Y in 2013 in particular.
All right. So now we're up to about February of 2017. You've been primarily doing Pokemon content for like a majority of your channel's life. However, now you decide to focus on Fire Emblem Heroes content. Compared to the other two games, it's like not as well known, and it caters to like a niche audience. What was the reason for like this decision?
Basically, Pokemon had a lot of competition, and I feel like Pokemon games don't have the hype which they used to have back then. So basically, if a Pokemon game comes out, they'll have a hype for like 6-7 months, and after that, it's kind of dead. So your views, your audience retention, and the interest of viewers in general is going to be declining. So I was really not going to be doing or covering Fire Emblem Heroes because it was a phone game, and I didn't really like phone games, but I wanted to give it a try because it had so many characters from the games I loved. So I just tried it, and it worked out pretty fine. I did have to work quite hard at start because it's whenever you're moving on from one niche of like one type of audience to another with a different game, you definitely have to give time to build up that audience. So I'm glad I really did, and a lot of hard work goes into making videos, but I would say that you just have to keep trying your luck, what works out. And sometimes it works out really well, sometimes you gotta choose another thing or learn from it.
Okay, so if I understood correctly, you actually weren't gonna cover Fire Emblem Heroes content on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I was not, but then I just thought I would give it a try. We should not just judge a book by its cover, so I decided to give it a try. I liked it, and I'm still playing it.
Wow, I wonder what that timeline looks like if you never try it out.
Yeah, that would be something else. I would still probably be making Smash videos, honestly, but now I just play Smash, just as a hobby. It's nice to play things which you don't have to upload, and you don't have to edit and commentate. So it's nice to just play it by yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that, like, even when you had your Pokemon content, you had Smash Bros. At like a kind of side thing, but when you started Fire Emblem, like, Smash videos like this appeared, so I was wondering why that was.
The thing is, I wanted to focus on Fates. Whenever these kinds of games come out, which have a certain type of story, which don't really have, a lot of endgame. Once you've beaten the story of Fates, that's it. That's all you have to do. That's done. So there's not really much you could cover. So I just wanted to cover that kind of thing with focus and not really get distracted with, other videos, because Smash is always going to be evergreen. People are still going to be playing it no matter what. So that's why I kind of put it on a hiatus and focus with that. I kind of like to do this kind of thing whenever I'm focusing on a game or a certain thing on my channel. I just like to put the hiatus on something which might be distracting potentially, and just put all of my energy into something which I think, is going to be going off pretty well.
So I mentioned previously that you received some negativity for your voice. However, more recently in some videos you answer fan questions, and some of them sometimes take a time to say that they actually like your voice. Have you noticed that shift, and how does that make you feel?
Yeah, I did notice that, and honestly, it's just the human condition. We will remember that one person who slapped us instead of remembering 1,000 people who shook our hands. And that kind of thing is always going to be happening to YouTubers, but it's really nice to see that people do enjoy my voice. And now that I've grown up, I've become more experienced in YouTube and stuff like that, I do think it's actually an advantage in some sense, because I can stand out compared to other YouTubers, like many of my competitors, because I have a unique voice, for better or worse, and even an accent. So people could find that funny, comforting, or whatever. So it definitely makes me stand out, at least. So that actually, just works in my favor. After many years, I've realized this.
All right. So if I'm not mistaken, your YouTube is your primary source of income. I want to know both around when did you start making money, and when did it start becoming like a financially viable thing in your eyes?
Yeah, that is correct. That is definitely my source of income right now, and it became a source of income late 2011, I believe. So roughly 1.5 years after I started my YouTube channel, I started earning from it, and I did realize that this is definitely a pretty good income source. And at that time, I was just a kid. So at that time, a kid is really not supposed to make that much money, or, not that easily with something that he enjoys, at least. So I just, kept it up with that. And as I grew up, I just used it to, pay loans for my parents, just pay for my college fees, just have all of my expenses on myself, and, just give a more, financial freedom to my parents, essentially, because I do come from not the most wealthy background. We have definitely suffered quite a bit. So this kind of financial help from YouTube definitely helped my family and my parents a lot, and I'm really thankful for it.
So now we're going kind of to the backstage of YouTube channel. How important are analytics to you, and what kind of information do you specifically look at in them?
Analytics are extremely important. Using analytics is extremely crucial in the growth of any kind of YouTube channel, I would think. The reason for that is you can learn how your audience is responding to certain stuff. So in analytics, for example, you see the click-off impressions, how many people have clicked on your videos, how many people have stayed in your videos for how much time, so you can see audience retention. So basically, if I make a 10-minute video and people are, just closing the video at 4-minute mark, I have to go at the 4-minute mark and see what am I doing that is turning off people to just shut down the video. And then I can learn from my mistakes, basically, from there. Basically try to have a video that just flows into the other segments really well. And it also tells me how I should make my thumbnails and how I should title my titles, basically, for the videos. So analytics are extremely important for the growth of any kind of YouTube channel.
So something that's been common on YouTube is channels hiring people to edit their videos. I want to know if you've done this or not.
Yeah, I've actually done this for my Fire Emblem Three Houses videos. Basically, I was just busy with a lot of college work, so I decided to hire a friend of mine who could edit my videos. So that is definitely a thing that I've done, but most of the time I like to edit my videos on my own because I can give my own unique flavor to that video with edits and stuff, which people are familiar with. Not to say that they do not enjoy videos which are edited by my friend, but still, it's something that I do enjoy right now. So as long as it's not like a burden, I don't really see a point of hiring a full-time editor.
So you're a full-time student studying business and computer engineering. Why did you choose to pursue these subjects?
I do have a lot of interest in computer engineering. I completed my bachelor's degree in that last year, and right now I'm doing my master's. So I basically have inclination towards, computers and just the business aspect of things. And doing this kind of master's is going to be helping me with my YouTube channel as well, because it's basically a business. And I would say that I do enjoy my master's already more than my computer engineering, I would say.
So how do you balance the life of YouTube and school?
It's definitely all about productivity and how you manage your time. So one time management technique which I really follow a lot is essentialism. You only have to do things which are essential. A lot of times when you're doing YouTube videos, a lot of creators try to go for the perfect thing. And while it's all nice to go for the perfect thing, sometimes it can take a lot of time to just go for it. And the normal average viewer doesn't really, care that much. They want to see the video, once or 2 days every day. And I would say that you shouldn't just throw all the quality out of the window, but you should also keep in mind that you have to finish that video or finish your work until a certain point so that you could, continue with your studies. So that's one principle which I follow.
Huh. Yeah, that hit me a little bit because I always want to make my videos perfect, and I guess it doesn't really matter in the end, I guess.
Yeah, it does happen with me too, and this is something I learned the hard way because it was getting really hard to balance both of the things. But then, I just eventually decided to just do the essential things because you have to keep your sanity in check, because if you go for the perfection every single time, and it's going to be taking toll on you, and you cannot make every single thing perfect all the time.
Yeah. Like sometimes I'll like mispronounce a word in the video. I'm like, oh, well, I gotta record the whole entire thing again.
Yeah, that happens with me too, but I kind of resist that urge because it's just the word at the end of the day. The people probably know what you meant, even if you mispronounce it.
Exactly. So once you're out of college, what's next? Do you pursue a career with your degree, or do you continue YouTube?
I would probably try to just do YouTube. It's my passion, or even both, actually. I wouldn't mind that, as long as, it doesn't take too much of my time. So mainly YouTube, I guess, is my plan, but I still want to have a good qualification because YouTube is uncertain. You never know what could go wrong. So it's always nice to have a plan B in life. So that's why I kind of went with that instead of just dropping out, which, a lot of YouTubers do, and more power to them, because it's definitely a risky choice. But honestly, I didn't really want to make that kind of risky choice just yet. So I definitely decided to just study in things which I'm interested in already. So that way it's a win-win.
So what plans do you have for your channel in the future? Have you thought about incorporating things like streaming or other sort of content like that?
Yeah, I do want to branch off more because I used to do a lot of games on my channel, but then I kind of just started to play safe when I was in college with Fire Emblem Heroes, that is. So I definitely want to branch out and play more games on my channel. And streaming is definitely something which I want to do, but not really do it excessively, because streaming is a whole different genre. You gotta have stamina to be there for 5-6 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And it's much different than making videos in your own comfort, because with a video you could be finished with it in like 3-4 hours, but with streaming you gotta do it every single day. And it's kind of like a job, actually, really, because you have to be here on time. But with videos, you could just make it whenever you want. You could make it in 3 a.m. if you really want to.
Yeah, you're right. So I guess final question to end this. whole interview off, what advice would you give to people starting out on YouTube?
The one advice I would give them is that you should honestly make videos not because you want to earn money, but because you have fun with it. Because the people who start YouTube channels just to make money just stop because they just run out of the field because they're not getting the results you want, and the grass always looks greener on the other side. So definitely don't fall into that trap. You should definitely try to make videos that you enjoy yourself, that you could watch yourself and show your other friends or family members. And that's how you start a YouTube channel basically. And if you're passionate about something, then people are automatically going to be gravitating towards you because they can, feel that kind of energy from you. Audience are very smart. So you should definitely try to do things that you're passionate about, and you'll definitely attract a crowd which are also passionate about the same things, and they'll be passionate about you and your work as well. So at the end of the day, just do something which you're passionate about, that you have fun with, because even at the end of the day, if you're not making much, you're still not losing because you're enjoying it.
Great, that's a good answer.
Thank you.
I guess that's gonna be it for this interview. Thank you for doing this with me. Thanks.
Thank you so much.